get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Michael Vick, he's going to go. Touchdown.
Welcome to episode 4 of the road to schematic perfection, shoveling our way to the end zone. I'm going to show you guys how we can use the shovel option to devastate the defense, especially in wide sets like dollar or nickel 3-3-5. If you guys have noticed already, the worst defenses to come up against when running a triple option offense are ones that get pitch defenders just outside of that read defender on both sides of the ball. If your opponent sets the read to attack the quarterback, you really don't have much of an option but to hand the ball off. And this is true most of the time, unless the pitch defender also takes the quarterback, which sometimes happens, and I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can force that on our end. Or we do some certain motions on our side, which I'd like to get into also in the future. But then, really most of the time you'll see something like your opponent is going to try to get too smart and they're going to do some shifts on their side of the ball, so shifts on the defensive line or with the linebacker that really don't do anything but miss up that read pitch order. So you can see things like the read defender will get totally taken out of the play, or the pitch defender that was on the line of scrimmage can be turned into the safety or something like that. So if you haven't already been, I'd definitely look out for those favorable alignments, and then kind of, base where you go off of that. So yeah, I'll show you where it doesn't work nicely for us. So I'm gonna go back to the gun slot offset and the motion triple option, or sorry, the regular triple option. And just a note that I created another Bo Jackson player model. If you saw from the earlier videos, I was having some trouble kind of switching between who that read defender is going to take, whether it's the quarterback or the halfback. So instead, I just made a new Bo Jackson that has his quarterback style set to scrambling. So I think this is just going to be an easier way to just switch between the two Bo Jacksons. Okay, so triple option. So one of these problem defenses is cover 3 out of most sets, where that strong safety is actually dropped down into the box. So what you see is, okay, so the read defender is the defensive end, and then that pitch defender is right there beside him. And then equally on the other side is, if we do audible to the motion triple option, well then Joey Bosa becomes the read defender, and the strong safety there kind of drop down closer towards the line of scrimmage will be the pitch defender. So what works out, something like that. So that pitch defender takes the halfback, we definitely don't want to pitch it in that case. And the read defender, so the defensive end, takes Bo Jackson. And there are situations where Bo Jackson is just incredible and he's gonna still make that play. And so if you're so inclined, you can kind of play that game, but I think the point of this offensive scheme is we want to be right on every single occasion. We don't want luck to get involved, we don't want player ratings to get involved. We want to make good decisions and have those decisions turn into big plays. So I think that's really the smarter way to approach this offense, is that compression cover 3. But the more obvious approach is you'll see something like dollar, the DB fire 2. So it really gets the defender spread out, and you get the same case where the pitch defender is right there on the line of scrimmage, and same thing on the other side. But I will say, and I don't know if it's a practice mode thing, but it seems that no matter whatever quarterback player model you have, and then I'm sure whatever defensive adjustments, whether it's aggressive or conservative on that option, that defensive end is going to crash on the halfback. You'll get something like this, and you'll be able to split those defenders. Actually, you'll be able to take the end out of the game, and then from there, you'll read that pitch, and do your thing. So I don't think it's too big of a problem there, just because I think you can still run that option. But the shovel option comes in as really a way to attack the other side, and to attack it in a way that the opponent is not going to expect at all. Because let's face it, how many shovel options have you come up against? So we'll go into gun split slot, which is the first promotion here. This is really probably the only decent play in this formation. This slot post angle is kind of cool. We could probably get into that in another video. But yeah, the shovel option here is great, especially against these wider sets. So DB fire 2, where you have defenders closer to the boundaries, but all that's going to do is just open up huge lanes in the middle of the field. So the way I kind of read this is I read it inside out. I take a look at this first pitch defender first, Joey Bosa in this case. So if he takes me head up, if he takes Bo Jackson, I'm going to pitch it inside to Barry. Okay, and then that's actually what we want to see, and you'll see that in a second. Or he'll take Barry, and then I got to go to the next level. So I won't even look at the second pitch defender until I've dealt with Joey Bosa there. Then from there, I can either keep it with Bo or pitch it to Vic. The latter being the more common of the two. So we'll see how it goes here. Okay, yeah, I pitched it too early there, but let's do it again. See what Bosa does. Okay, so this is very important. So no matter what, right away Bosa is going to take outside release here, and it may look like he's going to take you, but he kind of goes back inside and takes Barry. By the way, he's never going to key on Vic. Okay, so there's only two options for both of these guys. The read is going to either take you or the weak side halfback, and the pitch is either going to take you or the strong side halfback. Okay, let's keep running this. Okay, so the pitch to Vic isn't bad. He's fast enough to get away from other guys, and you got some nice blocks that set up out there. But what you really want is to pitch to Barry. And for whatever reason, Bosa just doesn't want to seem to take me on. Okay. So something like that. So you see how wide this lane is? Look at that. And if Josh Hill takes a bit of a better block there, same with my left tackle makes it 20 yards down the field. And he makes a decent block here. I just wasn't expecting the backside corner. So really what you want to do is just, split these safeties. What I really like about this is that it's huge play potential, like big play potential without really having to do too many jukes and spin moves. Which, as you know, the new patch is kind of taking care of that, but it's not totally useless. I think jukes and spins are still great against the CPU. So if you can, beat your defender before your opponent clicks on, and I think spins are still great against user players. Okay, let's run this a couple more times. Okay, so what I do when I pitch to either person, I kind of stop. I let go of the directional stick and I let go of the turbo, because you sometimes will get a bad pitch, or sometimes you get a weird animation where the quarterback kind of lowers his shoulder and he tries to squeeze between tackles, but you don't want to do that. You want to pitch the ball, obviously. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, it might be a situation where I have the wrong Bo Jackson in. What I notice on online head-to-head is that once that opponent is keying on the quarterback, I'll kind of start to bring this into the game. Okay, so the original fake Bo. See if that Bosa wants to take me on. Yeah. So he actually did that time, and I wasn't expecting it. Okay, so as with anything I've showed you, obviously it's going to take you a few minutes, get comfortable with it in practice mode, and start taking to the game. What do you think? Easy, easy stuff. Okay, so before we wrap up, let's take it back to that cover 3. Now the pitch inside isn't as great because obviously it's a much more compressed defense, but it still can get you a lot of yards and break big. But also that pitch outside becomes more viable. Okay, look at that. Let's run a few more times, hoping that Bosa will take me on. Oh. No, he still doesn't want to. And yeah, this Bo Jackson's absurd. Well, Come on, Bosa. Anyway, yeah, what I like about it is, I mean, no matter what the opponent sets on their, you know, on their assignments, you got great options either way. Okay, we're not gonna wait on this guy. Okay, so that's that. I hope this video helped you out. Make sure you leave a like if it has. And I want to hear from you guys. Drop a comment below. Have you started running this online? Have you been successful? Are there any issues coming up, you know, or have you found anything, you know, as you started running this that, you know, you'd like to share? I know I'm having a lot of success. Can't wait to keep building this to get better and better with you guys. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.